This is lesson 8.4, volumes of rectangular prisms. This is the last lesson of this chapter, chapter 8. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what the volume means. Volume, and it's given by the capital letter V, of a rectangular prism is the product of the area of the base. And this area of the base is given by uppercase b, not lowercase, uppercase b, because there is a difference. If you're talking about, how in a triangle we have the base times height divided by 2, this is a lowercase base, or I'm sorry, lowercase b, whereas to give the area of the base we always use the uppercase b. And so it's the product of the area of the base and the height of the prism. So remember that volume is nothing but the area of the base and the height of the prism. All it means is if we place cubes in this, how many we can place in one layer of this, and all we are doing is multiplying, and let's say this is the how many we can fill on the base. Isn't there that many that we can fill up in terms of height? So that's what it is. So how much the area of the base is times the height, and it is given by volume equals capital B times H, which is nothing but the area of the base, or the same thing can be written as length times width times height. Now if you look at it, isn't the length times width the same as the base, which is the same as here? So we can write it both ways. And that's all. It's sort of, this second one is sort of a breakdown of the first one here. Okay. All right, let's move on and find the volume of the rectangular prism. Okay, when we find the volume of rectangular prisms, remember volume equals length times width times height. So all you're doing is multiplying the 3. I've looked at your book. For some reason they have all or most of them as fractions, so you have to sort of refresh your memory about how to multiply fractions. That's all I can say. All right, equals 2 1/2 times 1 1/4 times 3/4. Now remember, we cannot multiply mixed numbers, so we have to make them into improper fractions. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, 5 over 2 times 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1, 5/4 times, of course the last one is still a 3/4. Now go ahead and multiply. 5 times 5 is 25, times 3 is 75, over 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 4 is 32. Now we have to reduce it. You cannot leave it as an improper fraction. Do not go into decimals, just do the long division, but then where you get a remainder, just write it as a mixed fraction. So 32 goes twice. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, subtract 1 and 1. So now my final answer for this is 211 over 32, and the unit was feet, so feet cube. Remember that cube, it's feet cubed, because we are multiplying 3 different things. It becomes to the power of 3. Okay, let's go on and finish the next problem. Same thing, volume equals length times width times height, and I've been noticing this, and it is becoming a little bit more these days, that you're not doing all the steps that I am doing. I need you to do them like I'm showing, and your practice problems need to be done this way. Even if you know how to do them, I need to show me the process so that it makes me happy. Okay, all right, in this case length, width and height. Now if you notice all 3 are same, that means this is a cube. Let's go ahead and multiply. 6 over 7 times 6 over 7 times 6 over 7. Now I cannot cross any numerators or denominators, so it's not an easy calculation. So I have to do 36 times 6, because I know 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 6 36, 6 times 3 18, plus 3 21. So I have a 216 over, now I know that 7 times 7 is 49, so 49 times 7, 7 times 9 is 63, 6, 7 times 4 is 28, plus 6 is 34. So 216 over 343. Now if you go ahead and look at it, you know, a little bit more, then you'll realize that this is it. You can't reduce it. We are good with it, so we are going to leave it as 216 over 343 centimeter cube. Again, don't forget that unit. All right, let's move on to the next. You will finish 3 and 4. Now let's move on to question number 5. Now in this case they have asked us to find the missing dimension. Now this is something similar to your one-step equation. Remember that? So solving one-step equations, that's what you're going to do here using multiplication or division. Remember that lesson? That's what we are going to apply here. All right, let's take a look. In this case, they've said that the volume, they've already given us that, and we know the formula, length times width times height. Now the volume is 864. Now you can write this either way. This length times width times height can go to the left, and it's okay. Okay. All right, equals, the length here is 12, width is 8. We need to know the height. So length is 12 times 8 times h. Let's go ahead. 864 equals 12 times 8 is 96, 96h. All right, how do I undo a 96h? What's happening between the 96 and the h? Good, multiplication. So how do I undo a multiplication? Good, division. So let's divide by 96 on both sides. This is 1h. So if you divide 864 with 96, you will realize, if you keep doing it, that it goes 9 times. 9 times 6 is 54. Carry the 5. Let me do it here. 54, carry the 5. 9 times 9, 81, 86. So it's 864, 0. So the h equals 9. What's the unit? In this case, yards. So 9 yards is the missing dimension. Height is 9 yards. Let's look at the next one. We have again same, and this time I'm going to put it this way and show you to know, so that you can see that it doesn't matter how you put it. Okay, the length times the width, which is 1 1/3, times height, which is the missing height or the missing dimension in this case, equals 5, because that's what they said is equal to 5. Okay, again remember, I cannot work with a mixed number, so I'm going to change it. So 3/4 times 3 times 1 is 3, 4, 4 over 3 times height equals 5. Now since I can see numbers that are in the numerator and denominator that can cross out, I'm going to cross it out that way. Now you can multiply them and make it 12 divided by 12 times h. That's fine with you, but I would rather do this. So 3 goes once, 3 goes once in the numerator, and the 4 in the denominator and the 4 in the numerator cancel out. So I'm left with h is equal to 5. Now good for us, so lucky for us, we don't have to do anything else. This is done. Height is 5. So the height or the missing dimension in this case is 5 centimeters. Do not forget the unit. I want you to go ahead and finish the other two, and then I'll see you next class.